So blessings and love, family. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. If you are here returning, it is so good to see you again. And if this is your first time, I would love to welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy Medina. I am a woman of faith, a woman of God. I am a mother of two kings in the making, and I am a life coach, and I create videos to equip, empower, and encourage you to transition from a life of fear, a life of failure, a life of lack, and a life of just trying to survive to a place of power, a place of faith, a place of abundance, and a place of potential. And I discuss all different types of topics that are relevant to what we face on a daily basis as men and women of God. And if you don't consider yourself a man or woman of God, just as people, what we face on a daily basis as people. And if that is something that you can connect with, if you are in a place where you want to go, where you want to grow, then I would love for you to become part of the family by subscribing to my YouTube channel and hitting that bell to be notified on any new and upcoming videos that I have. So, y'all, we are all in this journey together called life, and we are all trying to reach our destination. And if I could just impart any wisdom, any knowledge, any information, any life experiences and personal experience that I've experienced, and share that with you so you can find joy in the journey, that is my goal. Okay, so guess what, family? Guess what I did over the week? I actually created my own podcast, and I'm super excited about that. And I did my first podcast last week, I think maybe like 2 days ago. And in that podcast, I shared a little bit about my own faith journey, and I spoke on the topic of the mind and how the mind is such a powerful, vital, and important aspect when it comes to us transitioning from that place of failure and fear to a place of abundance and potential and power. And so I didn't get too much into depth on how to kind of work on leveling up on your mindset and your mentality, but I want to do that in this video today. I want to provide you with 3 starter tips on how to level up your mindset. The first one that I want to start with is to confirm. And that is basically talking about being self-aware. You need to ask yourself and think to yourself, is my current state of thinking working for me, or is it working against me? And y'all, you'll know if your mindset and your mind frame is working to benefit your life, because you'll see by the results that you get in life. You'll see by how the direction and how your life is going. And so you need to be constantly asking yourself, are my current habits profitable and beneficial for my life, or are they hindering and dysfunctional for my life? And if yes, great, wonderful, continue to do what you're doing. But if not, then that's where you need to kind of have that level of self-awareness to confirm, okay, this isn't working, or wonderful, great, this is working. And if it's not working for you, then you want to go ahead and move on to the next step, which is transform. And transform is all about self-improvement. It's all about where I said we need to improve and grow in our thinking. And we need to understand that behaviors are a direct correlation of our thought patterns and our mindsets and our values and what we believe. If you think about it this way, thought patterns and mindsets beget or conceive behaviors, actions, and habits. And those behaviors, actions, and habits conceive our present that we're living in, and our future and destiny and where we're going. And so in order to change your results, you need to change your mindset. You need to understand that what you believe, what you think, and how you view the world, your perspective on life, is going to determine how you move, the decisions that you make, the places that you go, the people that you get involved with, the jobs that you take or the jobs that you don't take. So all these things come about based on your own personal mindset and what you believe. And so this is where, if you want to change it, this is where gaining knowledge and information come in. You have to, what I say is replace the garbage with nutrition. And let me tell you something. I actually looked up the definition of garbage. And do you know that the antonym, the opposite of garbage, one of the opposites of garbage was actually sense, like sense, sense. I find that extremely interesting because that tells me that the majority of people are operating on a daily basis as people who have no sense, basically nonsense. And so we need to know and gain the information to replace that nonsense with some common sense. You know that saying that says common sense sometimes ain't so common? It's because of what has been input, what information and knowledge has been put into our minds. And so what do you need to do? How can I replace this information? Because the thing is, when you kick out information, you have to replace it with something. So there can't be a time where you just don't have any information. Information is constantly cycling and recycling in our lives. And we need to know the things that we have to do in order to replace the bad information, the erroneous information, with correct thinking. And this is going to come in the form of reading books, listening to lectures, sermons, podcasts, videos, talks, TED Talks, whatever you need to listen to replace your old way of thinking, your old dysfunctional and broken pattern of thinking, with something that's going to better you as a person. I know for me and myself, when I was looking to kind of better myself, I was on like a binge watch of videos, a binge watch of listening to podcasts and hearing people. And you really want to find people where you're going. So if you're trying to go to another level, if you're trying to go into a certain profession, a certain business, have a certain type of relationship, move in a certain type of way, you want to find somebody who's going in that direction or who's already in that place. And then that's the person that you want to kind of listen to, because there are people all in different places in our journey, right? In their journeys. And they may be a little further along than you are. And so you want to glean from them, because that's the place where you want to go. And just as those erroneous and dysfunctional ways of thinking were put into your mind from childhood, from life experiences, from culture, from your peers, you need to replace that with healthy and productive ways of thinking. You want to get the bad thinking out and you want to put the right thinking in. It's just that simple. And then the last one is to affirm. So we have confirm. So solidify, is this thinking that I possess, is this working for me or against me? If it's not, then I want to transform. I want to read books. I want to take out the bad thinking and I want to replace it with the good thinking. And then once I'm walking in that transformed thinking, that renewed thinking, I need to affirm. So that's self-affirmation. And this is something that you have to do on a daily basis, weekly basis. It's something that you need to do consistently, because you need to encourage yourself in the choice that you made for self-improvement and bettering yourself, and kind of affirming that this was and this is the right choice. And let me tell you why it's important, y'all. It's important because, let me tell you, oftentimes when you've done the work, you've made the choice, you're like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction. But sometimes you always don't see the benefits and the results like immediately, right? We live in a very microwave society. We live in a society where I want to see results just like that. I'm gonna give you an example. Toning my body. Pray for me. I want a toned body, but I love food too much, okay? But when I don't see those results within the first exercise, I'm like ready to just be like, you know what? Forget this. I don't need to do this. But we have to understand that hard work, there's hard work that's involved if you want to progress, if you want to become successful. And I think it's meant to be in our lives to challenge us, because we're very lazy as a people, and we're very like stubborn. We're very stuck in our ways, and we think things should come to us easy. And a lot of times, if we don't have to work hard for something, a lot of times we're not going to value it. So I believe that these great things that we need in our lives have to come with challenge to kind of pull these awesome characteristics and traits out of us. Strength comes only against adversity. So we need these things in our life as much as we hate them. So why is this important? It's because as you're on your journey and you're walking in the right direction, a lot of times the results will not come quick, and you'll tend to kind of look back and you'll see others looking like they're enjoying themselves, stuck in their old ways, stuck in their old bad habits and bad thought processes. And it kind of makes you sometimes second guess whether you made the right choice. And if we're not careful in affirming ourselves and not careful in encouraging ourselves, we will get stuck. And a lot of times we may even fall back on our old habits and old thought process and thought patterns. And that is why it's important to continuously affirm ourselves. We have to solidify the why and why we decided to change, the why and why we want to become better and why we want to push towards our goal. And kind of what does that look like practically? Well, self-affirmations. You hear a lot about that. Oh, I am wonderful. I am this. I am great. I am powerful. I am succeeding. I am successful. That's important. Words have power to bring life or death to our lives, our situations, our relationships. And if we want to see things flourish, if we want to see things grow, then we have to constantly speak life. Also, one of the big things is going to be surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You have to go where you want to grow. If you see that your environment is working against you, I'm sorry to say you're going to have to remove yourself from that environment. And I know it's hard because a lot of times we're stuck in what's familiar. We're stuck in what's comfortable. But let me tell you something. Comfortable is not going to bring success. Comfort is not going to bring a better version of ourselves. As I said before, going back to the working out thing, toning up, working out, building muscle, you have to tear the muscle in order to build the muscle back up. And so it means that you may have to leave old relationships. You may have to leave old friendships. You may have to release yourself from that job. If you feel that you're being called to have your own business, become your own entrepreneur, you have to take that leap of faith. You have to take that step of faith. And being around people who are like-minded and, again, going where you're going, it makes the journey, it makes the decision process a lot easier. Sometimes it also means you have to walk alone. I mean, we want people to be on our journey, and I believe there are seasons for when people are on our journey, but there are going to be seasons where we have to have enough courage, enough self-determination, and enough focus to have to maybe walk alone for a certain season. I think sometimes it's not always, but I do believe it comes and goes. So you really have to just be willing to do whatever it takes to keep you on the road to your destiny and to receiving everything that you desire in life. Is it an easy journey? Absolutely not. It's a bumpy, sometimes chaotic, sometimes lonely, sometimes fearful. Can be fearful sometimes, but it's a journey that is worth it. And for me and my faith, I know that God is with me every step of the way, and He is the one that gives me that strength that I need, that hope that I need to know that there's something bright on the other side of that tunnel. There's a light at the end of that tunnel. So again, confirm, transform, and affirm. These are just starter tips. There could be many more tips out there to help you level up in your mentality. But if I could give something on where you can start, I would say with these 3 tips right here. If you have any tips that you could share, I would love to hear them in the comment section below. Again, I'm super excited to start my podcast, and I want to discuss many different things and just keep it real and raw with you. Y'all, let me tell you, you're going to get the real, raw, and uncut version of myself. And it's because I want to show you that in order to be successful, you don't need to be perfect. Y'all see, I'm on here making mistakes, accidentally pausing and saying the wrong thing sometimes tripping over my words. I'm not a perfect person, but I know where I want to go. And in order for me to get there, I have to be bold enough and courageous enough to take those steps to go where I'm going. And in time, you will see yourself change. You will see yourself becoming better, speaking better, expressing yourself better. But you have to take those steps. You have to take those steps. And I want you to see that you too can do it. Whatever it is that you have in your heart to do, you don't have to already be perfect to get there. It just requires you to take the necessary steps. I would love for you to become part of the family. I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, my podcast, and I will provide the information in the description box below. Until then, I will see you all soon. Peace and blessings.